We're used to the Googles and Metas and Amazons and Microsofts of the world being big investors in this AI era, but do you know who has actually been the biggest acquirer so far? The $43 billion startup Databricks, which last June ponied up $1.3 billion for generative AI startup Mosaic ML. Well, fruits of that acquisition clearly, as Databricks this morning unveiled a new open source model called DBRX, which cost around $10 million to develop over several months, and Databricks says outshines Llama 2, Mixtral, and Grok. Quoting VentureBeat, the model, which contains 132 billion parameters, outperforms leading open source alternatives like Llama 270B and Mixtral on key benchmarks measuring language understanding, programming ability, and math skills. While not matching the raw power of OpenAI's GPT-4, company executives pitched DBRX as a significantly more capable alternative to GPT 3.5 at a small fraction of the cost, end quote. And quoting SiliconAngle, the company said it's open sourcing the model to encourage customers to migrate away from commercial alternatives. It cited a recent Andreessen Horowitz survey that found that nearly 60% of artificial intelligence leaders are interested in increasing open source usage or switching when fine-tuned open source models roughly match the performance of proprietary ones. The most valuable data, I believe, is sitting inside enterprises, Databricks chief executive Ghodsi said in a briefing with journalists. AI is kind of precluded from those spheres, so we're trying to enable that with open source models, end quote. DBRX uses a mixture of experts architecture, a type of neural network that divides the learning process among multiple specialized subnetworks known as experts. Each expert is proficient in a specific aspect of the designated task. A gating network decides how to allocate the input data among the experts optimally. The MOE architecture is built on the MegaBlocks open source project, which its developers said can more than double training speed compared to other MOE architectures and is up to twice as compute efficient, end quote. But, quoting TechCrunch, it's exceptionally hard to use DBRX unless you're a Databricks customer. That's because in order to run DBRX in the standard configuration, you need a server or PC with at least 4 NVIDIA H100 GPUs. A single H100 costs thousands of dollars, quite possibly more. That might be chump change to the average enterprise, but for many developers and solopreneurs, it's well beyond reach. And there's fine print to boot. Databricks says that companies with more than 700 million active users will face, quote, certain restrictions comparable to Meta's for Llama 2, and that all users will have to agree to terms ensuring that they use DBRX responsibly. Databricks hasn't volunteered those terms specifics as of publication time. Databricks presents its Mosaic AI Foundation model product as the managed solution to these roadblocks, which, in addition to running DBRX and other models, provides a training stack for fine-tuning DBRX on custom data. Customers can privately host DBRX using Databricks' model serving offering, Rao suggested, or they can work with Databricks to deploy DBRX on the hardware of their choosing. Also, DBRX is not multimodal. Unlike some more recent flagship generative AI models, including Gemini, it can only process and generate text, not images. And we don't know exactly what sources of data were used to train it. Rao would only reveal that no Databricks customer data was used in training DBRX, end quote.